always have a stocked fridge, then you know the plight of trying to decide what to make for dinner with limited options. Faced with similar ingredients night after night, it can be hard to find inspiration. But what if you were shown the contents of a fridge at random and asked to produce a high quality meal? Well, that's the premise behind one of the a show on the Food Network called Raid the Fridge. And today we have the very first winner of the show, winner of season one competition, Brianna Riddock. She's the founder of Seasoning Coffee LLC, a culinary media startup and boutique catering company based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And she'll be sharing with us her journey to becoming a champ, raiding the fridge. Hello, Brianna.
Hi, how are you? I didn't realize I was so close. Let me back up a little bit.
Again?
No, I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me this afternoon.
I'm good. I'm happy to talk to you because we're going to talk food, right? And I'm very interested to know about lots of food stuff. I'm particularly fond of people who can cook and like who have a great deal of creativity. So I think we're going to have a nice conversation. But before we talk about the competition, you are a Jamaican American living, obviously operating now out of Atlanta. That's where your company is. How did you get introduced to food?
Yeah, I'm Jamaican American. Both of my parents are Jamaican, so I contribute a lot of my recipes and the things that I come up with that have a lot of Caribbean influence. But I started cooking at a young age. I didn't start actually getting into the career until probably after I came out of college, and I started out as a blogger. And then just started hopping around to different restaurants after that. Went to culinary school, and I actually got a master's in food studies. So I studied like the cultural analysis of food, specifically looking at the Black lens. So looking at food from kind of like the African diaspora, and of course the Caribbean is right in the middle. So I drew a lot of my background in food has come because of my Jamaican heritage.
Okay. So are you like somebody who loves to eat? You love to eat?
I love to eat, but I don't overdo it. But I love to go out to like new restaurants. I love trying new dishes. I love like just the ambiance of like going out to a dinner. I love like small one-on-one dinners. So yeah, I love to go out to eat, and I love to try new restaurants for sure. It's probably one of my next favorite things to do. If I'm not cooking the food, I want to enjoy like somebody else's food.
What's the latest restaurant did you discover? What was the latest restaurant you discovered?
What was the latest thing that I've cooked?
No. You said you like trying new restaurants, and I'm interested what you.
Oh, well, yeah, I've gone to a lot of new restaurants that have opened here in Atlanta. So I mean, anything from like if it's like a seafood based restaurant or Italian. I actually really like pizza, so I like a really good like custom made style pizza. And the restaurant that I work in right now, it's actually an Afro Caribbean restaurant here in Atlanta called Rocksteady. And again, having Caribbean background, it helped me in this position because we do a fusion of a lot of traditional Caribbean dishes. And actually one of our owners is Haitian, so we have like a lot of Haitian style food. So I love going to like those like culturally relevant restaurants. It's a way for me to like visit a country while I'm still here in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice perspective. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the show, and I think we have a trailer that kind of gives people a sense of what raid the fridge. Is that it's called raiding the fridge? Or
raid the fridge, right? Yes.
Yeah, let's check that out, and then we'll.
Are you ready? Hashtag bad jokes. Go, 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 go.
Oh my God.
Over the course of 3 rounds, 4 chefs go head-to-head, making incredible meals using only the ingredients found inside a mystery fridge of their choosing.
This is a lot of pressure.
If you go home on this challenge, you need to move out of Kentucky.
Raid the Fridge, all new Wednesday at 10 on Food Network. Also available on Stack TV and the Global TV app.
Yeah,
Right.
I love
Well, congrats. So when that show
For
started,
me, cooking and music.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't say anything. Yeah, so I shot that. Actually, I shot that show back in May of last year of 2021, and I actually happened to shoot it here in Atlanta. It was a 1-day shoot. So I was really shocked and surprised that I won. I think that my creativity was really important. My time management, as far as like my pace in the kitchen, really helped. And just being able to maneuver around a kitchen, cook quickly, cut quickly, think of recipes or thinking of things that cook quickly within the time frame. I think those are the things that helped me win. But definitely a lot of the experience I have in working in a restaurant, having to think on make up things on your toes, and I definitely think my creativity was one of the selling points that helped me win.
Right. So the premise of the show, as you said, is that you go into a fridge without knowing what's in the fridge. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So that's essentially what the show is about. So, like if you're at home and you get like announcements for weddings and baby showers, whatever you get, and you post it on your fridge, everybody has a different look to the fridge. So the premise of the show was to pick the fridge and then based off of what's on the outside, kind of predict what may or may not be in it. And then once you pick it, you have to cook what's in the fridge based off of the specific challenge. So every excuse me.
Do you remember what was on your fridge and what was
Yeah,
inside?
so the first fridge I ended up picking, I remember because it had like a lot of seafood things on it, and I think it had like a lot of notes about it being Asian, Japanese, Vietnamese, or something along those lines. So I knew that for that first fridge that I feel very comfortable doing seafood because I grew up eating seafood and we make a lot of seafood in our restaurant now. So I knew that was the first one that I wanted to get. And then the second challenge was about dietary restrictions. And as a chef now, you just have to be aware of different dietary restrictions and allergies. So I think the second one that I picked was dairy free. And honestly, when you look at a lot of Caribbean cooking and African cooking, naturally doesn't have a lot of dairy in it. So that wasn't a hard thing for me to do either. So that's why I chose that second fridge. And the last one, it was just a toss up. There was just no rhyme or reason. There was just like all sorts of things in those fridges on the last round, but I pulled it through.
What did you make on any
So
of them? Here's what you made first, second, and third.
yeah, so the first one I remember I had these really, really great, beautiful prawns. And I remember having I had Old Bay seasoning. So I seasoned my prawns in Old Bay season. I had some thyme. Jamaicans love thyme. I love thyme. So I did some seared, like a pan seared Old Bay kind of like butter sauce with my prawns. And then the challenge for that first one was using noodles. So I happened to have these vegan noodles in my refrigerator. So I used the vegan noodles to make kind of like a ramen pho inspiration. And then I had made a broth with lobster broth to kind of make that liquid. And then I plated the prawns on top. So it turned out really good. I actually won that challenge. That was the first challenge that I won. And then the second one, I actually ended up doing chicken wings. I made like this apricot, kind of like spicy apricot glaze to coat on the wings, and I fried the wings. And then I did like a celery kind of slaw. So I shredded celery really, really thin, and then I made a slaw with it. And then that was my dairy-free option. I had like this, I forgot, it was like some kind of vegan mayo, and I made like a dip with the vegan mayo. I added like a lot of herbs. I had like some fresh citrus. And then on the last challenge, that one really challenged me because I was like, it was so hard to continue to really think on your toes. So for the last challenge, I actually ended up doing French toast with a really rich bread called brioche. I did a French toast along with steak. So I did a really nice steak with sriracha and basil. I made a sriracha basil sauce, and then I served it with like some kind of like a little blueberry compote, and I think I added like fresh cucumbers on there for the plating. But yeah, those were all the dishes that I made on the show.
Oh, and you had to. So as you open the fridge and you see what's there, that's when you needed to decide what to cook. And then how much time did you have to get it all done?
Right. So as soon as we opened up the fridge, that's all the time that we had when they showed us, or when we were able to start cooking. So I think for the first round it was 30 minutes, and then the last two rounds was 45 minutes each.
Okay. And those were like that's normal. That's normally a good time to prepare a meal, or was the timing part of the challenge? Because you had one challenge which was you didn't know what was going to be there, and then whatever was there, you had to figure out how to prepare a meal from what's there, right? So it's not like the usual. Oh, I'm going to plan and I know exactly what I'm going to get, and I'm going to get all my ingredients. So that one challenge was the unknown. Was the time also another one of those factors?
Yeah, I mean, the time was important because, again, you had to think of recipes or dishes that you know you would be able to get done within that amount of time. Because they even have things in the freezer. So, I didn't opt to use anything in the freezer because I wouldn't have had enough time to maybe run it underwater, under frost, or anything of that matter. So time was really important. And I made sure I picked ingredients that I know I could get cooked under the time and then still have time to plate my food and make sure it was presentable for the judges. So absolutely, I think time is always a concern when you're in the kitchen, and time and temperature. So I made sure I picked out proteins or either ingredients that I know I would be able to prep within the amount of time, have it fully cooked, and also still be able to plate it where it's not messy and where everything is clean and my plate is clean. So time was very, very important. But I mean, when you start cooking, time runs out really, really quick. So you have to be quick on your toes. You have to have really good knife skills. You have to have really good organization skills. So yeah, time was important, but I think that 45 minutes was enough if you're a good chef to be able to put something together, for sure.
All right. What's your favorite thing to cook, Brianna?
Honestly, I really love making curry chicken. I do like I like my curry chicken with just plain white rice, or like with some coconut milk in it. But if I'm at home, I'll usually make curry chicken, or I really love making lasagna because it's just like a big dish that you can make, and you always have leftovers, and you can share it with everybody. So those are probably my favorite things to make. For sweets, because I also bake too. So I really love making carrot cake. I love making like a red velvet cake. I've been making these apple pies in my restaurant, in the restaurant that I work in, and it's been selling like hotcakes. I've been doing it for like almost 3 months now, and I took them off the menu, and everybody's like up in arms about the apple pies. I'm actually putting it back on the menu next week to run it for a few more weeks. But I'm like, it's not even apple season here in the States anymore, so I didn't want to keep running the apple pies. But those are the things that I like to make.
I see a delicious looking. Is this the banana bread that you're talking about? I'm on your website and I'm seeing.
Oh, probably, or like a sweet potato bread or something along those lines.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but it looks really delicious. And then there's a cake that's all decorated with some petals and roses, and is that pink, or I don't even know what color that is.
Yeah, so I do a lot of cakes. Yeah, I haven't so I do cakes. I do like the layered cakes and a lot of celebration cakes for birthdays and anniversaries, wedding showers, baby showers. So people put in their orders if they want to do like a custom cake. I'm in the process. I do private dinners, so a lot of my dinners are private clients where I'll go into their home and they'll have like probably like 3 or 4 courses set up, and then I'll do that, and then it'll be like an intimate experience for the people that don't necessarily want to go out, or if they want to have like a gathering at their home and still have like friends and families over. So I do that occasionally on a case-by-case basis, just because it does take up a lot of time, and I usually have to hire staff. But yeah, I'm just looking at where I'm going to transition into, but I have a lot of options.
Yeah, because you write. Because I'm looking at your blog, the seasoning bottle. I don't see any recipes here, but I certainly do see. Oh yeah, here it is. Is this a recipe? I don't know, but
yeah. So my blog, now I've used it mostly for booking. So I've been using it or my website for people to book dinners or for them to book cakes. And I have a lot of recent recipes, but I've been using those where I'm contracted by other companies to write recipes for them. So
okay.
I think I think eventually I'll probably go back and update my blog, but I've written for a lot of online publications and a lot of magazines, and I develop recipes for them. So I kind of have my hand in a little bit of everything within the culinary field, or right now, as far as like food and media goes. And I just want to continue that trajectory.
Well, we do want to say congratulations. Obviously, taking that Jamaican spirit and doing as much as you can, fully maximizing writing, cooking, baking, and winning competitions. So, congrats, Brianna Riddock, who was the first winner of Raid the Fridge, and her blog is The Seasoning Bottle, and people can eat food from you. You said the restaurant in Atlanta is called Rocksteady?
Yes, the restaurant in Atlanta is called Rocksteady. If anybody happens to visit, come to the States and they're coming to Atlanta, it's in West Midtown, so it's not far from we're right in the middle of downtown, but it's in the middle of the city. Yeah, come check me out. I do all the desserts here. I've been here since the restaurant opened, so we're going on our 3rd year now. So yeah, we've been here for a while. So I am a restaurant.
Check it out.
Yes.
It's really, and how do they follow you online so that they can connect?
Yes, if anybody wants to follow me online, everything is at Seasoning Bottle. So it's seasoning, SEASONING, and then bottle, BOTTLE. And then that's on Instagram. So Seasoning Bottle, and then Twitter, Seasoning Bottle, and anywhere else you'll probably be able to find me. And then of course my website. But if you guys want to do any bookings in Atlanta, I would love to I want to make sure I shout out all my family and my cousin. I keep calling her Janelle Pantry. That's her maiden name. But my cousin Janelle Koch, she is in Kingston, and she owns a furniture decor store. Yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, that's nice. So the creativity and all of that entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so when I go to Jamaica, I go to her house. So yeah, Janelle is my aunt, and then even my uncle Kent, he taught at uni for a long time for law. So my family, I'm just really proud to be, part of a family that has the Jamaican heritage. And I feel like every time I come to Jamaica, it's always so much love. I told them the next time I want to come, because usually I'm always like supervised and I'm like under my family. So next time I come, I'm going to rent a car. And then I'm going to my own place.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I want to be able to drive around. And my cousin has an Airbnb listing, so I'm going to stay in her Airbnb and kind of be a little bit more independent the next time that I come down.
Of course, do your thing. Thank you so much, Brianna, for chatting with us and sharing your story and all this wonderful food, which I can see online. And I just followed you, so I'm connected to Seasoning Bottle. Take care. We'll be in touch, and you can tell us. And folks, if you're in Atlanta, I think she said, I don't remember where she said in Atlanta, but if you're on Seasoning Bottle online, you can find her and go have some of her desserts from the restaurant, Rocksteady.
Yes, thank you.
All right. We're going to tell you what's happening for the weekend coming up. Well, few events for you to look out for. Latoya HD is back with her Heart Cry Worship Conference under the theme Immersion. This happens on February 26th virtually. For more information, how to register, you can check out spiropen.com. And her event's going to start from 9 and run until 4. The Boss Mom Network presents a modern parenting seminar series under the theme Single Parent Talk. If you'd like to improve your effectiveness in how you parent, or if you have any specific challenges with your child, this session is just for you. Happens on Thursday, February 24 on Zoom. If you want more information on how to register on that one, you can check out spiropen.com. And I think the art show is still on at Phoenix. I'm going to tell you what it is in just a moment. I don't remember what it's called now, but I've got the flyer somewhere here. And I think I'm still going to try and pay them a visit maybe sometime in the week. Vibration, the Sky Gallery, reggae art exhibition. It's part of the Reggae Month celebrations, and they go from 11:30 until 6, and it's going from February 11, which means it started last week, Friday, and they go until February 26. I think it's just Friday coming up, so still got a week of it, 11 to 6. 11:30 to 6, and you can see all the stuff that's on show. Works by Jordan Mars, Don Dada, Sean Henry, Mariana Romaine, and Triodel, as well as Kayla. So you gotta check that out. Our weekend rundown or events segment is sponsored by spiropen.com. Spiropen.com is a Jamaican online platform designed to simplify online payments for charities, churches, event organizers, and micro business owners. If you want to register your event, go to spiropen.com/events. Then click the button that reads Get Started Now. Registration is free, and your event doesn't have to be a paid event to be featured. Stay with us. Your World of Music coming up next.
Be tax smart this tax season. File and pay your final income tax return for 2021 and estimated return for 2022 due on March 15 with tax support in so many ways using our web services, customer service center, 888 tax help, or special taxpayer assistance program. Tutorials available online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. All income tax returns, including individual, must be filed online and on time. Pay taxes your way. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Massey Group will be 100 years, and that's significant. We've survived all sorts of wild, crazy things that have happened. It's really thriving.
People don't just buy a product, right? They buy how you make them feel and whether your values align to theirs.
Massey differentiates ourselves because we believe that when we are all successful, the region is going to be more successful.
Learn more at burrito.com/Massey.
What a good thing to get the third party, brata.
Third-party car insurance just got a whole lot better at Key Insurance. Just add Brata to your third-party motor insurance policy and get collision coverage for your vehicle plus protection to the other driver. Request the quote online at keyinsurancejm.com or call 888-CALL-KEY. It's a third-party Brata. Extra protection, extra savings, and extra peace of mind. Conditions apply.
This is Love 101, the family station, 615.
Jesus Christ takes me from glory.
Hope for Life Breakthrough Ministry presents its virtual worship conference 2022 under the theme Transformation in the Midst of the Pandemic, Going Forward in God. This Saturday, February 19, starting at 10 a.m. at Church of God in Jamaica, Frankfield, Clarendon. Guest speakers, Health and Wellness, Evangelist Carleen Andrade, Apostle Caroline Graham, and Pastor Winston Peku. MC, Sarah and Edwards from Love 101. Meeting ID 228-626-5597. Passcode 7, lowercase v, uppercase TX, lowercase g, 3. For more information, call 876-208-9593 or 894-1978. It's the Hope for Life Breakthrough Ministry Virtual Worship Conference 2022, starting February 19, beginning at 10 a.m. Don't miss it.
It's your boy Jay Kingston, and it's time for your world of music.
You're inside your world of music, and as promised last week, if you were listening to us and you'd have heard us play a small part of this brand new single from Jason Mighty called Chauffeur. Well, the music video was released on Valentine's Day, and he's here to tell us more about that. Jason, how is Canada?
Hey, Kalando, how you doing, my brother? Blessing engage. It's a blessing to be here. What's up? It's cold over here.
It continues to be cold.
Yeah, it's freezing over here. You know, I just last night I just shoveled about 10 centimeters snow from the driveway, so it's crazy over here, man.
There's a new skill I never thought you would need.
I tell you, trust me. Still can't get used to it. I still can't get used to it, man.
I know, right? But anyway, that should be working those picks and arms, Lenny.
I know.
So, how you been? How did you manage with the world has been in a different state for the last 2 years. How Jason might be managing that?
Well, you know, man, the last 2 years allow me to search and allow me to find not that I find a new me, but allow me to dabble in the more creative side of me of my career and of my music that was always inside of me, and I just always feel afraid to like step out in that genre, you know, which we're going to talk about a little later. So, you know, the pandemic for some people it has been you know, crippled them, but for me it has allowed me to find a new me, you know, come out of my box, come out of the box that I put myself in through the years, or should say scared to step out of through the years. So God has been good. You know what I mean? I can't complain. It's doing some online sale. Music has been selling online. You know, not allowed to go out and perform, but in terms of, you know, different ways of providing, I also start a new business, you know, where, you know, it allowed me to provide for my family through that time, you know. So God has been good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, they talk about adversity, bringing out all sorts of creativity. So this stuff you're about to talk about is an expression of that creativity that you're talking about, that you were afraid to explore all this time. Give us more on that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Chauffeur. It's a R&B track. More focused, like you know, I grew up listening to a lot of 90s R&B, like Jagadish and you know, Joe and those guys. I was a big fan, right? Cisco, those guys, you know, Usher. So I really, that side that was always in me. But when I get discovered by Main Street, by Danny Brownie, you know, in the studio, DJ Nicholas, Prodigal Son and those guys, it allow you to stray away from that side, because you want to be in the midst of all the juggling. You know, if you know Jamaican music, it's always about juggling. Yeah. So it allowed me to stay away from the juggling, because I want to keep up with what's going on with the latest rhythm that coming out. So I was so scared to step away from that, then to lose that drive. But then, you know, it's always in me. You know, if anybody know about Jason Mighty, singing is something that really talking about melody and style, that's something that God has blessed me with. You know what I mean? And as I said, the pandemic allowed me to just dabble into it more, and I'm just loving it. And what I'm about to say later in the interview, it may, I don't know if it's gonna sit well with a lot of people, but I know it sits well with me. You know what I mean? So look later, we'll talk more about that.
Well, you can go and say no. I was gonna ask you what inspired this music video. I started watching it and saw some sort of parade happening, and then I'm seeing some R&B thing, and I was like, okay, I'm not even sure what's going on with Jason, so let me leave it, and then you tell me, and then I go back and watch to see if you know, how that connects with me. But what made you decide to do this, apart from, okay, you're saying the pandemic allowed you to come out of your comfort zone, and this is one of the first things you've done. Why this?
Well, first I should say, Kalando, over the years of traveling, doing it, you know, I have a lot of hit songs, you know, reggae gospel hit songs, right? Some of the biggest hit songs, I am a part of them. Some collaboration singers. I travel the world and sing the gospel. But there's still a limitation, and what we do, reggae gospel, there's a limitation there. right? And for me, in the business almost 17 years, I've seen it. We'll go to show, it's like you can't pass maybe 2,000-3,000 people in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? You're going to UK, you may get 500-600 people come out. I mean, one show I did and I have like maybe 2,000 people come out, right? But then you see, like, international artists come and you have 20,000, 10,000, you know what I mean? You're going to Caribbean, they want you to close the show, but they still not want to pay you more than an international artist. And you still sell, you drop an album, you sell a few numbers and you're not past that. You know what I mean? So what is the changing point? You know what I mean? For me, I believe that and also even you go America, you're seeing the young teenagers, the young kids, they like your music, but they still sometimes they can't understand what you're saying. Right. So I've been searching through the years.
You're suggesting that the reggae gospel is limiting you, or has
it's limited. It does. As I said before, I'm going to say it. A lot of people may disagree, but for me, I know it's limited. It's limited to where you go. It's limited to the church you're going to. It's limited to the Grammy. It's limited to Stella Awards. It's limited to all of the big platforms that we are like we should be a part of, because we spend, I don't know, but I spent thousands of dollars on my album. This video I've been spending thousands over the years doing good videos, but then at the same time it's limited, right? So for me, I decided that I'm gonna step out of that. I'm gonna step away from doing reggae gospel, like that. I will do a song, but I'm not, the new J Smith, you're not gonna find me dabble too much in reggae gospel, because I'm trying to
doing R&B gospel.
Yes, I'm gonna focus more on singing. I'm gonna focus more singing, and it's gonna be more R&B vibe. You know, I mean, if I do reggae, it's gonna be like fusion reggae, right? Where it can appeal more to the younger folks. Because Kalando, let me tell you, the truth is, bro, we've been singing for years and we still not reach the younger generation, because it's like we're just singing to the church. I feel like we've been singing to the church for a while, right? And the youth, the younger folks, they're not being reached. And what the point of we doing music, we're not reach out, where we don't reach church people. You know what I mean? We'll reach. So if you realize with Shofar, the way I write Shofar, write it where it's like a story, but it's gospel, but it's still, it's in a creative way. Can you be my Shofar? You know what I mean? A young youth can listen to it and wow, and somebody in the 30s can listen to it and still enjoy it, because it's on the side of 90s but still modern, right? So
let's have a listen to it now to see how we feel, if we agree with you that,
Step out the vehicle for me, sir. Hello, officer. Sir? Step out the vehicle for me.
Chauffeur by Jason Myfield. This is his new direction almost. A very R&B sounding throwback to the 90s type of R&B on this one. Okay, Jason, this one sounds a little bit like a versus, like a straight, obviously sounding gospel song. I mean, I'm one for unique sounding stuff, but how do you think people are going to react to this?
Well, I don't know, but people is reacting already. People love the new vibe and stuff like that. As I said before, Kalando, you have to do changes always take a time. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna do, because I'm doing an album right now, and the album I've Sun on it, have Gadi Gadi on it, Sharon Guard on it, a lot of dancehall reggae track is on it, right? But I'm just saying that this is the last album I may do that.
This is going to be a new focus for you. It's not that you're abandoning the thing.
Yes, I'm not abandoning it, but if because a lot of people send me track, if you send a song that I know will because as I said before, it's pointless to spending money. Nobody want to spend money. I spend thousands and you're not making it back, right? For me, yeah, people said think Jason might make millions with the gospel. No, I didn't. Of all these songs I've done, millions, thousands I've spent, like Jamaican millions, US thousands. I cannot say that I bought a house out of music. I can't say that, you know what I mean? So, but I will still do it for the love of God, because we love Jesus Christ, and stuff like that. But I believe there's more out there for me, and a lot of opportunities have come my way that I could have made lots of money with the music, but I turn it down because I would have to change my genre. And early in my career, I was approached to change the way I sing, and 'cause people know that, you know, a lot of people told me, A&Rs told me that, listen, you have that style, you have that tone, that you should just, you know, focus more on singing. But you know, when you're young and think that, you know, it's all that, I turned down that. No, it's not too late, but you know, I'm still gonna try, you know. So I want to focus more on my singing, you know, more on my vocals, more on the creative side of me, who, you know, I can go on a stage and I can give you 30 minutes of just jazz and blues. You know, I'm looking into doing more jazz and blues, you know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, and you know,
So, all that's gonna come up on the album. We're gonna see all these genres on the album that you're exploring your creativity, you know.
well, not maybe not this album, because this album finished, but there's a few tracks, R&B tracks is gonna be on this album, but the next track I'm gonna work on is it's gonna be more like that, more, you know, I'm gonna focus on getting more jazz and blues. Take the gospel to out of the box, bro. You know, like, you know, like one of my favorite singers, Jonathan Butler. I don't know if anybody know him. He sings "Falling in Love," but also when you see any, yeah, when you see any jazz and blue, any jazz, he's on there. He's always on there doing amazing music. When him finishing out, him bless the people, man, minister to them. You know what I mean? So I know I have the talent. You know, I have the talent.
When do we see the album, Jason?
Well, the album coming out in April. His album is gonna come out, release in April for sure. And our next video coming up, our next R&B video is gonna come up. Cause feet sitting at your table, you know, it's another song that's gonna be it's different. You know, I write it for those who leave home, whether you're gospel or secular, you leave home. I write it in a way where it can cater to you in any way. So it's an amazing song. I'm looking forward to it. Corey produced this song called Chauffeur, and Lazarus Production is gonna be producing. And you see, let me tell you, all these songs are coming out of Jamaica. You know what I mean? But for sure, exactly. A lot of producers that are working on this track are from Jamaica, who have it in them. It's there. You know what I mean? It's just that they don't get the opportunity to focus on that way. So you're gonna see a lot of stuff coming out straight from Jamaica, but in different ways.
And I'm definitely interested. This one, I like it. I'm just wondering, you know, I mean, I listened to it some more, the chauffeur thing. I get the proposition, what you're saying. You know, it's a song that's really asking about to be in charge, but the way you're doing it is different for Jason. But that's okay. Different is good. You know, different is good. Different got Jason. And when you have the other songs, let us know, and maybe we'll bring you back to talk to the entire album when you put it out in April. You know, just work us through the tracks and maybe help people to understand your point of view and your creativity this time. Jason Mighty, thank you.
Blessing the Kalando. Looking forward, man, for the talk about the next album. Yeah, bro. Blessings.
So Jason, that takes care of our show for today. Our show for today. You can go listen to Chauffeur that from Jason Mighty. That one's online. And say thanks to Davio and Shabani for taking care of things on the other side of the microphone. Engages your drive time, entertainment, and lifestyle choice, which happens every Friday at 5:30. Tell somebody about the show. Thank you, everybody, for listening today. I think it was a great weekend. And remember, if you missed the show, then you can check it out. Last week's episode on the Love FM app, as well as today's episode. And that's where I say goodbye. What's on for